Hey everybody, in this video, we are solving trig equations. This first one, we have 2 sine squared theta minus 1 equals 0, and I'm going to show you how to solve this in two ways. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. Option number 1, which I think is going to be the go-to method for most people, maybe not my favorite, but it gets the job done, is to start solving, and you'll solve by taking square roots. So what does that mean? You want to isolate sine squared theta first. After you isolate sine squared theta, what you're going to do is take the square root of both sides. Don't forget the plus minus. Don't forget. And then make sure you rationalize your denominators, and we'll go from there. Okay, so what does that mean? You're adding 1 to both sides. Classic. Algebra 1, pre-algebra, exactly. 2 sine squared theta equals 1, showing so many steps. You're welcome. Then divide both sides by 2. No, you don't subtract 2, you silly goose. That's ridiculous. No one who knows what they're doing would do that. Go, adios. What do we have? Sine squared theta is equal to 1/2. Now, what does sine squared theta really mean? I'm glad you asked. Sine theta squared. Don't you remember when we introduced that to you back when we introduced Pythagorean identities? Also, make sure you know your Pythagorean identities. They come up when we solve. Okay, from here, what are we doing? Next is picking a different color so you guys can see better. I don't know, this one. We are going to take the square root of both sides. When you are the one responsible for taking the square root in any solving, you are not going to be a fool, and you're going to put that plus minus in front. From here, next step on the left, we are down to sine theta equals plus minus. Now what's really happening? That's really root 1. I already wrote the plus minus, okay? Over root 2, but root 1 is, what is that? Well, it's 1. And what's square root of 2? Don't be ridiculous. It's not 2. What are you thinking? Then what's the square root of 4? That's 2. What's square root of 2? Is it 1? No, the square root of 1 is 1. What are we doing? I don't know. What do we do next? We obviously rationalize our denominator because it's impossible to divide by an irrational number. And right here, what do we get? Root 2 over 2. Now, in stage 1, which is maybe where you are in class right now, you might be done up to there. All you needed to do was to get that statement. What does sine of theta equal? Those two things. Two things, yes. Plus minus is not one thing, you silly geese. So it's really saying sine theta equals root 2 over 2, and sine theta equals the negative root 2 over 2. What is layer 2 of all of this? Well, of course, it's to solve for actual theta, right? We want to know what the variable is. Sine is not the variable. Theta is truly the variable. So if you are so inclined, you would think about the unit circle, and where does sine equal radical 2 over 2? And where does sine equal negative radical 2 over 2? Well, let's do it. Where does sine equal root 2 over 2? Now, I didn't give specific directions. We're going to, in this video, solve between 0 and 2 pi. Maybe you have to solve on a different interval. Maybe you need to give general solutions, to be continued. Watch another video for that. I'm just being a little big. So theta equals, well, where is sine positive? Sine is the y value, up a medium amount over here and over here, right in the middle of those quadrants. Do you remember who those are? That is pi over 4, and that is 3 pi over 4. Eek, a little squished, okay? Then what about in this situation? Theta equals down a medium amount, negative y value, down, 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 down. That is, who's that? Quadrant 3, we got 5 pi over 4. My dog really wants to play, so you're about to hear him cry his little puppy face off. 5 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4. Okay, so in our universe right now, where I'm currently recording this, you go that far all on your own because you're a big boy, big girl, big human, you get extra credit. All I need you to get up to, though, is that guy right there, or those two separate guys right there. Now, I told you I was going to do this two ways. What is option number 2? No, option number 2, I'm not going to necessarily go all the way, but let's go. Actually, let's go on the bottom of this page, okay? Okay. So what is the other option? Oh my gosh, how long is this video? Over 5 minutes, how dare I? 2 sine squared theta minus 1 is 0. Now, could I factor this bad boy? Absolutely, because I can use my imagination and I see difference of 2 squares. When you factor with difference of 2 squares, you have to take the square root of the first component, the square root of the second component. Obviously, it has to be 2 components with a minus, hence difference. You take their square roots, and those are the knickknacks inside your 2 binomials, those conjugates you make. All right, well, obviously, square root of 1 is the easiest. What's square root of 1? 1. 1 gets a plus, 1 gets a minus. Voila, hence conjugates. Here, what is the square root of this? No, it's not sine theta. And no, it's not 2 sine theta. Why are we so silly? It is root 2 sine theta. No, it's not root 2 sine theta. Square root of sine squared is sine. Square root of 2 is square root of 2. It's irrational. You can't do anything more. Root 2 sine theta. Now, when it comes to factoring, if the power is 1, you're probably done. So we factored. Now, zero product property. We got to know what we're doing, right? We made it this far in life. You took algebra already. You learned that in algebra. It's not new to pre-calc. You learned algebra 1. You learned it in algebra 2. You used it in geometry. Like, let's go. Let's do it. So, root 2 sine theta plus 1 is 0. Subtract 1, subtract 1. I can't believe I'm showing all the steps. This is so silly, but don't tell me I didn't do it for you, you know? Divide by root 2. Divide by, what am I doing? Root 2. Do you see it? Do you see what's happening? We're getting the same answer. Sine theta equals, we rationalize, hopefully in our brain, right? Then we get negative root 2 over 2. Ba, ba, ba. I promise you're going to get, and, oh, what am I writing? Root 2 over 2, the positive version. Okay, I promise you get the same one. That's negative. That's not a big, giant, humongous radical. The radical goes there, okay? And there you go. There you have it. I'm so sorry. 7.5 minutes. It's under 8. You're welcome. Go check out another video on the playlist. Study, repeat, do the same question 75 times. Obviously, I didn't solve all the way for theta. Please rewind and see the part in the video there. If you need to know how to factor, I have factoring playlist. If you, I don't know, whatever you need, go look. I have it. Thumbs up if you're going to get a question like this right in the future, and thumbs down if you learned nothing in math up until this point of your life and you don't even know what a difference of 2 squares is. Let me know. Bye.